Hello, welcome once again to Urban X-Files, where history and mystery meet. Today we look at Hartley Village in Liverpool, Aintree. Hartley Village in Aintree was built in 1886 by William Hartley when he moved his jam making business to what was then the outskirts of Liverpool City. The large factory site contained warehousing, offices, an engine house, railway sidings, and access to roads, as well as the main production factory itself. The village for his key workers initially had 40 houses, although this was later increased. It was designed to be self-sustained. In the square behind the houses were gardens, tennis courts, bowling greens for the resident workers to enjoy. Most of the roads in the village were tree-lined avenues with names of the ingredients used in jam making, such as Sugar Street, Spice Lane, and Cherry Avenue. As can be readily seen, despite the tidy houses, there are major environmental problems: derelict or underused buildings, incompatible uses, vacant lots. New development has not helped retain the integrity of the village, and many of its architectural assets are in danger of being lost forever. Sadly, the trees lining the avenues, the gardens, tennis courts and bowling greens have long since gone, and the village is a shadow of its former glory. However, the community spirit is still very much alive, and the houses still retain much of their character and charm. Hartley's was a grocer's originally founded by Sir William Pickles Hartley near Pendle in Lancashire in 1871. A supplier failed to deliver a consignment of jam, so William made his own and packaged it in his own design in earthenware pots. It sold well, and by 1874 the business had moved to Aintree. In 1884 the business was incorporated as William Hartley and Sons Limited. 2 years after the new factory that was built in Aintree, Hartley constructed a purpose-built village for the key employees in his company. The village was designed by Leek-based father and son architects. The village had a total of 49 houses which surrounded a central bowling green, and a later expansion took the total number of houses to 71. Within the village, all of the streets were named after the ingredients of the jam. It was made a conservation area in 2011 and has been compared to the larger and better known nearby development of Port Sunlight over in the Wirral. Also, with Hartley's village and the factory itself, special fire prevention methods with automatic sprinklers and a sophisticated system of ventilation had been installed. There were 5 internal lifts, and the innovation of electricity was used for light and power. A factory inspection reported, "We were very much impressed with the sanitary arrangements and the perfect system of ventilation that you have installed. Everything was clean and fresh, and workers were neat and tidy." Mr. Hartley had also installed a mini railway for heavy trolleys, which met the needs of the work people involved in moving the heavy weights. A loading bay accommodated between 15 and 20 vans at the height of the season. There were over 2,000 employees, mostly women, and there were plans to produce over 400 tons of jam per week, with storage for a huge quantity of highly glazed stone jars. Hartley's believed that he provided a very high-class product, and it would not only bring reputation but dividend. His claim was that Hartley's make only one quality, the best. When he received a letter from a customer asking for a sample, his reply was brief: "Dear sir, the name is the sample." In his opening speech, he declared, "Our preserves and marmalade are all made direct from the fresh fruit, some of which we grow on our own farms. Fruit is gathered and preserved on the same day and filled into our stoneware jars." In 1959, the company was sold to the successful Schweppes organization, and by 1962, the factory site had become offices and a distribution center. Despite Hartley's being a prestige jam company, he believed that the reputation of an employer stands or falls with the treatment of those he employs. He observed, "Our interests are mutual. My aim from the first is to do them as I would be done by." Workers were paid more than other similar businesses. Female employees were paid 20 to 40% more than those of his competitors. General wage policy was based on regular increases. Both male and female employees benefited from a system of merit-based profit sharing with an annual ceremony, almost like a prize giving. Hartley believed that those who deserved it had the claim to share in the prosperity of the business and urged recipients to spend it wisely. As like everything else these days, the village itself still stands. As you can see from the video, is in quite a sorry state, and some of the main buildings have unfortunately been demolished. The houses that were constructed for the workers still stand strong to this day and are proudly occupied by their owners.